I know there's tea.
There is no tea. I was flirting with somebody via social media. People do that all the time. Think about all the dudes who hit your inbox, your DMs.
You think that it gets crazy.
I know it does. Because you're sexy. You're a 10 on an average day. I'm a 4 on a good day. So, you think 4s get DMs?
I messaged you.
You messaged me asking for a product I was making. That's completely different. You weren't like, damn, let me see what that D looks like.
Sometimes I
Hey everybody.
What is up?
Alright, well today we're gonna pretty much explain how we met.
Yep.
It's actually an interesting story, so I'm kind of excited to talk about it.
It all started, I think, towards the end of 2017.
In the beginning part of 2017.
No, because so we met in 2017.
The earlier part of 2017. We hung out for quite a few months.
We did. And I was working at the same job.
Same here, actually.
Well, we were both working the same job.
Yeah. Not the same for the same company, but we're still at the same jobs that we were at the time when we first met.
And there were a lot of stuff that we both needed to work out. Like, for instance, my financial situation wasn't great at the time. I didn't feel confident in like that. I didn't have a very solidified structure in my life. And so eventually we kind of pushed away for probably close to 2 years, almost 2 years actually.
Yeah, and it was good on my side as well. Like I'm thankful because I traveled a lot within those 2 years. I went through a lot of different things. I was in school, I think, at that time when we were talking for quite a few months. But then I graduated in December before we reconnected and everything. So I went through a lot, spent a lot of time focusing on school, traveled a lot, went to places that I never imagined going. So it was very exciting to kind of like get some life experiences in.
Yeah, you did.
I did a lot of traveling. I went a lot of places within just that short period of time.
I didn't do any traveling. I drove to Florida occasionally to see my parents. But I Lily.
That's my
Callie. That's a big no-no on you.
Lillian, hey, bye. Go. Come on. Go to your bed.
What was I saying? But I did end up going back to school, continuing my psychology studies at UT. I'm graduating in a couple months. I'm excited about that. Fast forward to February of 2020. Early February. Right?
Yeah.
It was
early.
my birthday because you gave me a birthday. I haven't celebrated my birthday in 10 years. My personal experiences with birthdays after high school is birthdays are just birthdays. I think the only one that I may have, celebrated was my 21st birthday. We went to Genghis Khan's and I had like the big bowl, like the alcohol bowl, like the giant fish bowl that you drink out of. That was like a celebration. But so she sends me a message on Snapchat about a company that I'm working on called the Austin Kiwi Company. I make kiwi chips, and she asked if she wanted some. So we set up a date. It was a Sunday.
The plan was for me to just swing by his apartment. I knew where he lived.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just going to swing by his apartment and then just pick up. I was going to buy some from him.
Right. And so she so we had it set up to where she was gonna come by and pick up.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't think I had seen her. I don't even know if I had seen pictures of you at this point.
Well, during that time, so starting November of 2019, I started to do like I was like super dedicated to the gym prior to COVID. I'm still really into fitness, but I don't go to the physical gym. And so I would post, the only thing I really would post on my story would be like me at the gym, but it would physically be like a picture of me. It was just like me, like when I'm in spin class or right before I go to Pilates or Zumba and things like that. So it'd be like random things like on my way to Pilates, on my way to Zumba, whatever. And so like, that's the only thing I would post on my Snapchat, but that was like,
so
I saw his posts.
I guess like prefacing with that is like I didn't ask her this with any like physical attraction, any kind of sexual intentions was out the window. I just asked her the day that she was going to come by to pick up the quips. I had some market research to do at the local farmers market in Austin, and I invited her to come with me because quite frankly, I didn't want to go alone, and I thought it would be nice to have somebody there with me who might be a good outside voice of like, oh, if you're working on that, maybe you can look into this. So I thought it would be cool to have somebody come with me. So I invited her, and I fell in love with her.
He invited her and I fell in love with her.
Yeah, so you showed up to my place.
Mm-hmm.
I got you your quips and stuff,
Yeah.
and then we went to the farmers market, and it was a load of fun. This was right before COVID hit, so this is like one of the last weekends that the farmers markets was open, because we obviously didn't anticipate COVID to get as bad as it did, or as bad as it is. Like we went down every aisle in the farmers market. I'm looking at products. I'm looking at marketing. I'm looking at advertising. I'm looking at the structures that people use for their tents.
The signage.
I'm looking at everything. And I'm making notes. I'm making mental notes. And
it was interesting for me on my side because I actually, again, I had graduated in December of last year. Technically, it was like summer of last year, but I walked the stage December of last year. And I graduated in a degree in business. So just like, it was interesting to talk with somebody that was starting a business with, my mindset is like fresh out of college. Like, oh, then what about this idea? What about that? It was pretty interesting just like having those kind of conversations.
It was one thing that I was really grateful for. Like I didn't realize that she had gone to school for business, and I am a psychology major who didn't focus in high school at all. I was more focused on making music than anything in high school, so I don't have a business background. So it felt really nice to have a business mind with me while I was doing that.
Which it wasn't even his intentions at
No,
all. Like,
not at all.
No clue that I graduated with.
Hindsight is 20/20, and it was very kind of spur of the moment luck.
Yeah, because I was planning on picking up the quips and going to Pilates afterwards.
Yeah.
So I missed Pilates class that day.
So we went to the farmers market, and then I there was something about her that drove me wild inside. Like seeing her smile made me like react a certain way on the inside that made me feel good, and having her there with me felt good. And it was something. It was a connection without talking that I've never felt before. It was just somebody there that I was like, wow, this is a really fun person to be around. So then after that, we went to a small brewery, a craft brewery on Metric called Adelbert. Y'all should go to Adelbert if you're ever in Austin. Great brewery, sour beers. It's a cute brewery. They have barrels all around the walls. It started out as a very small project, ended up becoming something really great. And I got home and I told myself that I'm gonna marry that woman one day. I got home and I was in love. I couldn't stop thinking about her. I think after that we went like 4 days without talking, and it was like it was wild how much I thought about her on a consistent basis on the days that we didn't talk. And when she did text me, it was like a flurry of emotion and
That's so cute.
and then I think I asked her out. I asked her on a date. We went to Kura Sushi, and that was a lot of fun. That was a really fun first date.
Yeah, and it was my first experience to see sushi on a conveyor belt.
So it was cool. She got to experience something new, and I got to experience something beautiful, which was the sight of her. It was really nice. And then
we started hanging out a little more. Like he would invite me over to his place. I would hang out with them. We went on a few more dates, and then the Domain is really popular in Austin, and so I was like, how about we go to the Domain again? This was like this was all right before.
Yeah. This was in March. This was before everything shut down at the end of March.
Mm-hmm. And so we went, and it was during the day kind of thing. It was like right after work, during the day where everything was still, like nobody was really out there yet. So we went through the Rock Rose, where it was like all the bars lined up. We didn't really drink or anything. I just wanted to kind of show them how it looked. And then we went to go get a salad at Salada. Right before we got out the car, that's when he asked me to be his girlfriend. And it was so cute.
And I'm really glad you said yes. And Salada was really good. There's a lot of firsts for me that day. Like I hadn't been to a lot of the different places that we went to at the Domain. She gets out a lot more than I do, obviously. I'm kind of a homebody, but she's really helping me break out of my shell with things like experiencing new restaurants, new places.
There's so much to see in Austin.
We went to Lake Pflugerville yesterday. I've been here for 10 years and I've never been to Lake Pflugerville. So
beautiful lake.
Yeah, she's really, and even the YouTube channel, she's helping me break out. Even if the YouTube channel goes nowhere, I'm not used to being in front of the camera. So I'm
But
really,
he's the natural. Do you see how this is natural? Talkative. You're good. You're good, baby. Yeah, you're good.
I feel really lucky. I feel really blessed, and I am deeply in love with Tierra. That's kind of how we met. Bumble.
The very beginning.
My brother and his fiance met on Bumble. A lot of my friends, dating, especially in today's kind of COVID era, is strange. But online dating, it does work. I think it has its ups and downs. Catfishing is bad. Scams are bad. Sexual.
How many sites did you do? How many sites have you been online with online dating?
I did Bumble and Tinder, and then at one point I tried Plenty of Fish. What I learned about Plenty of Fish is it's a huge scam operation. If you're wanting to engage in a conversation, because I think Tinder is more or less of a sexual.
That's when he told me that he's like, yeah, I was on Tinder. I'm on Tinder. I'm like,
No.
You are.
No.
That's what.
No.
That's my immediate reaction, because that's the
right.
stereotype for Tinder users.
But that's what I learned. That's not something that I downloaded Tinder with the anticipation of dipping the old fishing rod into the salty sea. I don't fucking know. So yeah, I mean, guys, gals, if y'all Even if you're fucking weird, like me, because I'm a fucking weirdo, just do it, because there's going to be another weirdo. Or there's going to be an amazing woman who accepts you for your weirdness, or an amazing man who accepts you for your weirdness. And damn, that goes a long fucking way, especially when you don't think that there's somebody out there who's going to love you for who you are. The camera cut out. So yeah, what I was explaining was that that's really hard to find, but it is something that is not outside of your grasp. Just do it. No one deserves to be alone. I feel really lucky that I'm not alone anymore. I feel really lucky that I have a partner who makes me want to push harder. I think that I'm a hardworking person, but the things that I want for us make me push even harder. I got the things that I want for me. I have things that I want for myself. Now I want a family, I want a future, and I'm beginning to push harder in my endeavors to achieve that. That's all I wanted to say. Back to the studio. Back to you in the studio, Tiara.
Well, that's about everything, and that's how we met. And I'm very, very happy that I had a chance to reconnect with this lovable teddy bear. He's so sweet. You're so sweet. But thank you guys.
Thank y'all. If you got this far in the video, you rock.